Before seeing very interesting tables, let us see what appears really today in the paper about Advocate Sheftel, who calls on Netanyahu to continue his legal battle. The state attorney's office will not sign a deal without disgrace because their trend is to remove him from the arena. That is known. You see the leftists, Meretz, Lieberman and Lapid, Melbit, all of these people, clearly one can see that their main intention to remove him because they don't like the right. Okay, so let us see what really confirms this. As you can see here, news from before. It was historic day. Trump and Netanyahu presented the plan of the century. U.S. President and Prime Minister introduced peace plan. Trump, Israel takes big step. Jerusalem will remain Israel's united capital. Netanyahu, great plan. Israel will begin sovereignty over the Jordan Valley and Jewish settlement in Judah and Samaria. Applying sovereignty will be put to a vote in government on Sunday. Okay, this was really in the paper written by Ariel Kana, and it was a date 28th January 2020, exactly 2 years ago. What more was, the indictment was filed against Prime Minister Netanyahu. Criminal case 600, less than 4 hours since Netanyahu withdrew his request for immunity from prosecution, and while in the United States, before the publication of the century deal, Avichai Mandelblit filed the indictment against him in Jerusalem District Court 2004. So this was into Batsimoki, of this one, it is all the details. Now, this date, you can see date, published 28 on the 1st of 20. Clearly you can see direct connection between trying to send away Netanyahu from his position and what is going on. No doubt we see clearly this, what is going on today. So I did really few tables, in fact in Hebrew a lot, clearly indicates that this is accusation, is false accusation of Prime Minister Netanyahu. And it is merits and the leftists because of hatred. All these court cases, amazing Netanyahu court cases, So no doubt out of jealousy, of hatred. We see it so more and more also that so many guilts, blames came down, fell down, 4,000, 2,000. So no doubt. Now, as it looks like if it would carry on, we might save lots of troubles which we have today. The threat of Iran, and who knows if the plague which comes almost at the same time, because no doubt that having the leftists controlling Israel today, the heresy government, and those against the Torah and so on, only bring a lot of troubles. And who knows now, with the bombs that Biden definitely enables it with the agreement. So no doubt that the terrible times that we have today is a result of this what was in the past, these trials to do everything that Netanyahu will not be the prime minister. In fact, it's an amazing table. It is in English, not in Hebrew, but you have here Trump and Netanyahu coming in a table, which have the word redifat, the persecution of Trump and Netanyahu by the left. By the way, he's a plagiary, maybe he's a result of this. So also you have the heavenly minister of the Amalek, Samael comes here. But it's amazing that it is exactly the same thing. Democrats and the leftists are basically the same idea against the Torah. Democrat is Satan, and this is what we have, unfortunately. There's a lot of troubles that we have now. Who knows if the earthquake today also is part of this. So, as I said, we can see so clearly, unfortunately, that we had opportunity of peace, settlements, really. But the Satan came, Democrat and the leftists, and brought to this terrible situation that we are in today. So what we can do, to do tshuva, to repent, to keep the Torah, to have proper judgments, not such one which are based on criminal people, state witnesses who themselves to be in prison. How can you rely on such things? But this is what happens is a result of hatred, jealousy, and will to get rid of Netanyahu, who did so much to the country. So it's a Satan, definitely. So important and very significant tables, and clearly seeing so much really divine providence, exactly the same day, which could be a day of really of peace, happiness, and joy, turned to be a day of troubles, difficulties, threats. So interesting, significant table.